You have a choice. You can keep trying to become the person everyone expects you to be, reliable, controlled, productive, useful, perfect, or you can finally understand the person you already are beneath the pressure, because the real personality of Virgo is not simply organized, practical, or hardworking. It is far more complicated than that. You notice what other people ignore. You see the mistake before it becomes a disaster. You sense the weakness in a plan before anyone else questions it. You recognize what could be improved, corrected, strengthened, or rebuilt. That ability can become your greatest advantage, but it can also become your private prison, because when your eyes are trained to find flaws, eventually you begin searching for flaws in yourself, and that is the battle nobody sees. People admire your discipline, but they do not understand the anxiety behind it. They depend on your strength, but they rarely ask what it costs you. They call you a perfectionist, but what they often fail to understand is that you are not always chasing perfection. Sometimes, you are trying to avoid disappointment. So ask yourself honestly, are your high standards building your future, or are they making you believe you will never be enough? The choice is yours. You can spend your life correcting yourself, or you can learn how to direct your gifts without destroying your peace. Most people procrastinate because they do not care enough. Virgo often procrastinates because they care too much. You imagine every possible mistake. You rehearse every conversation. You plan the plan before you begin the plan. You tell yourself you are being responsible, but sometimes, responsibility becomes hesitation. You delay launching the project because one detail is unfinished. You avoid speaking because your words might not come out perfectly. You continue improving work that was already good enough to release. You help everyone else solve their problems while quietly postponing your own dreams, and when you finally rest, you feel guilty. Why? Because somewhere along the way, you started believing that your value comes from being useful. If you are solving, fixing, organizing, supporting, or producing, you feel worthy. But when you are tired, uncertain, emotional, or in need of help, you may feel like a burden. That is not discipline. That is conditional self-worth. The real problem is not that you expect too much from life. The problem is that you often demand from yourself what you would never demand from someone you love. You give other people patience. You give yourself pressure. You give other people second chances. You give yourself criticism. You tell everyone else that growth takes time. Then you punish yourself for not transforming overnight. This is why people misunderstand you. They see criticism, but they do not see concern. They see control, but they do not see fear. They see emotional distance, but they do not see the 1,000 thoughts you are processing before you speak. You are not cold. You are careful. You are not emotionless. You are selective about where your emotions are allowed to exist. The shift begins when you understand one truth: your ability to analyze is a gift, but it was never meant to control every part of your life. A microscope is valuable when studying details, but you cannot live your entire life under a microscope. At some point, you must step back. You must see the full picture. Successful people do not wait until every uncertainty disappears. They move while uncertainty is still present. They do not eliminate every mistake before beginning. They begin, learn, correct, and continue. Leonardo da Vinci filled notebooks with observations, inventions, sketches, and questions. His genius was built on curiosity and attention to detail, but his unfinished projects also reveal an important warning. Excellence can create extraordinary work, yet endless refinement can prevent completion. The lesson is not to lower your standards. The lesson is to stop using standards as an excuse to hide. Serena Williams did not become one of the greatest athletes in history by avoiding mistakes. She trained through them. She reviewed weaknesses, adjusted her strategy, and returned stronger. That is the highest expression of Virgo energy, not self-criticism, self-correction. There is a difference. Self-criticism says, I failed because something is wrong with me. Self-correction says, this result is information. Now I know what to improve. One destroys identity, the other develops ability. You do not need to become less observant, you need to become more compassionate with what you observe. When you stop turning your gifts against yourself, your real power becomes visible. First, you become exceptionally reliable, not because you need applause, because you take responsibility seriously. When you make a promise, you remember it. When others lose focus, you notice what still needs to be done. when a system begins falling apart, you quietly begin rebuilding it. Second, you possess practical intelligence. You do not only dream about improvement, you search for the process. That makes improvement possible. You ask useful questions. What is missing? What is wasting time? What is creating the problem? What can be simplified? This is the mindset behind strong businesses. Disciplined athletes, effective leaders, and meaningful creative work. Third, you have the ability to turn chaos into order. Florence Nightingale did not transform nursing through emotion alone. She used observation, statistics, organization, and relentless attention to conditions others had accepted. She saw patterns. She documented problems. She created systems that saved lives. That is what happens when detail becomes purpose. Your attention is not small, it can produce enormous change. Fourth, you often love through action. You may not always make dramatic declarations. Instead, you remember what someone needs. You solve the problem they mentioned weeks ago. You show up early. You prepare. You protect people from difficulties they never realized were coming. But there is a danger. You can become so focused on helping others improve that you forget they must choose improvement for themselves. You are allowed to support people. You are not required to rescue them. Your first strategy is simple. Before beginning any task, define what finished looks like. Not perfect, finished. Ask yourself, what result would be useful, complete, and ready to share? Write down the standard before your perfectionism has time to move the finish line. A business leader cannot spend forever discussing every possible risk. At some point, a decision must be made. A writer cannot revise the first page forever. At some point, the story must continue. Create a deadline. Create clear criteria, then release the work. You can improve version 2, but version 2 cannot exist until version 1 is completed. Your mind is powerful, but it can make fear sound logical. You may say, I am just being realistic. But are you examining reality, or are you predicting rejection? When you begin overthinking, divide a page into 2 sections. On one side, write what you know. On the other, write what you are assuming. You know the presentation is tomorrow. You are assuming everyone will judge one small mistake. You know someone has not replied. You are assuming they are disappointed in you. You know the project needs improvement. You are assuming it must be flawless before anyone sees it. Facts. Create direction. Assumptions create paralysis. Train yourself to recognize the difference. You schedule responsibilities. You schedule deadlines. You schedule appointments. Now schedule recovery. Rest should not be the reward you receive after destroying yourself. It is part of the system that keeps you effective. Elite athletes understand this. Training creates stress. Recovery allows the body to adapt. Without recovery, discipline becomes damage. Your mind works the same way. Create time when nothing needs to be fixed. Take a walk without measuring productivity. Read without turning every idea into a project. Spend time with people who do not need you to solve anything. Rest is not laziness. Rest protects the quality of your future decisions. Every day, do one thing before you feel completely ready. Send the email, publish the idea, begin the conversation, apply for the position, share the work, speak before every sentence has been rehearsed. Confidence does not usually appear before action. Confidence is evidence collected after action. Each imperfect step teaches your nervous system that mistakes are survivable. You learn that embarrassment passes. You learn that criticism can be useful or ignored. You learn that your future does not collapse because one detail went wrong. Action creates clarity. Waiting creates more waiting. You are good at noticing what people could become, but potential is not a promise. You cannot organize someone into maturity. You cannot love someone into responsibility. You cannot explain the same truth until another person becomes willing to hear it. Pay attention to where your energy goes. Are you helping someone who is also helping themselves, or are you carrying someone who has decided not to walk? Your loyalty is valuable. Do not spend it where accountability does not exist. Sometimes, the most disciplined thing you can do is step back, let people experience the results of their choices, then use your energy to build the life you keep postponing. Your new identity is not, I must be perfect. It is, I am committed to progress. You are not valuable because you never make mistakes. You are valuable because you learn. You are not strong because you never need support. You are strong because you can recognize when support is necessary. you are not disciplined because you work until you are empty. You are disciplined when you know what deserves your energy and what does not. Stop telling yourself, I will begin when I understand everything. You will understand more after you begin. Stop saying, I need more time to prepare. Preparation without movement becomes avoidance. Stop believing, if I cannot do it exceptionally, I should not do it at all. Every expert was once visibly inexperienced. Every polished result began as an imperfect attempt. Your standards should guide you, they should not imprison you. For the next 7 days, challenge yourself, complete one task each day without overcorrecting it, say no to one responsibility that does not belong to you, spend 30 minutes resting without earning it first, write down one mistake and the lesson it taught you, take one action you have delayed because you were waiting for certainty. At first, it may feel uncomfortable, you may feel careless, you may feel exposed. You may feel as if lowering control means lowering quality, but you are not lowering quality, you are removing fear from the process. Imagine how different your life could feel if your mind became a place of guidance instead of judgment. Imagine finishing the project, making the decision, leaving the draining relationship, applying for the opportunity, allowing someone else to help you. Imagine waking up without immediately creating a list of everything that is wrong. That transformation is available, but it will not happen through more analysis. It happens through practice, through repetition, through choosing progress when perfection tries to stop you. The real personality of Virgo is not defined by criticism, it is defined by discernment, not by anxiety, by awareness, not by perfectionism, by the desire to create something meaningful, useful, and lasting. But your greatest gift can become your greatest weakness when you use it without balance. So stop treating yourself like a problem that must constantly be repaired. You are not unfinished because you are failing. You are unfinished because you are alive. Keep improving, but also keep living. Take responsibility, but release what is not yours. Prepare carefully, but move before certainty arrives. Build high standards, but do not use them to measure your worth. The choice is yours. You can spend another year waiting to become perfect, or you can begin today as you are, intelligent, capable, imperfect, and ready. Master your mind, direct your attention, complete what matters, and remember, your life does not need to be flawless to become extraordinary. If this message spoke to the part of you nobody understands, like the video, subscribe, and share your experience in the comments. Then stop waiting for the perfect moment, choose one action, and begin.